Hello, how are you? Yesterday I published a debate with Magdalena titled "Vegans kill more animals than carnivores." It's been quite a popular theme for last few years, and I presented a little bit of my reflection on this topic. I based my narrative on Polish data because both me and my opponent, we were Polish, so I thought it won't be a bad thing to dispute our country's situation based on data that can be easily verified by both of us. I also think it is not a bad idea to talk about your own country, because if you are a vegan activist in your own country, I think you should address the situation in your own country, first of all. And second of all, Poland is not that unimportant country if about animal production, because we are the biggest poultry producer of European Union. We produce pretty a lot. So I think our data have some importance in this discussion. I used official statistics provided by Polish government. I didn't use actually too much of those statistics because I didn't want to make our conversation boring, just reading the tables, reading the numbers. I just wanted to introduce some concepts. Therefore, I just used a few approximate figures just to picturize some phenomena. I even didn't use the most up-to-date data. Why? Because my time I have for preparation to video and altogether my YouTube activity, I have very limited time. So I just picked a few data which sounded very reliable to me because those were official statistics, and I just want to discuss it. However, below that video, there has been a lot of hot conversation with carnivores, especially a few of them. And one is trying to tell me that those official statistics are manipulated by Earthling ad. Therefore, in today's video, I want to introduce a little bit more the source of the information which I used in last debate. First, I will read those interesting comments. In fact, those comments are very interesting because that guy, Crypto007, he has his own carnivore channel and he has already uploaded debunk video to my video. He doesn't include me in a title, but I know that it's related to our conversation. It was soon after this. So this video is titled "Veganism Kills. Can Vegans Do Maths?" Of course, he meant me personally. So apologize to all other vegans if you think there is something wrong with my maths. It's not about the vegans' maths, it's about my maths. So let's check whose maths is better. That guy introduced himself as professional IT analytic with his own company, very successful. And me, I'm just poor singer from Poland, just sensitive woman who wants to do something for animals. So should it be debate among carnivore maths versus vegan maths? Maybe it should be in comparison carnivore brains versus vegan brains. He also attacked my country's education. He said he knew a lot about educational system in my country. I don't want to go this way because I also have heard some legends about his country's education, but I don't want to continue. Let's see his arguments. So he's complaining that I made some assumption, I used some approximate numbers. He's writing, "In science, we don't assume, when we have the data. Again, animals are fed 40% of grain grown. 86% of that is indigestible for humans. Therefore, the 50 to 80% of grain is not consumed by livestock. It's an Earthling at fabrication, just like the name he uses. Okay, why I said let's assume? Because I used, like I said, not up-to-date data. I used data a little bit older, from the period between 2008 and 2012. So quite old. And I assumed that the structure of Polish agriculture couldn't have changed too much over the last few years. There was some tendency suggested. It was suggested that poultry production is rapidly growing, which seems to be reasonable. Meat consumption in Africa, Asia are rapidly growing, and Poland is exporting meat to Africa, for example. So I believe that it has grown, and this percentage of grains predestined for poultry farms also grew. This is what I expect, and I also checked some data right now, and I see that poultry production is growing 7-8% a year. So I'm afraid that since 2012, it has grown a lot. So was it any horrible thing from my side? And I'm suffering brain shrinkage already, because I made an assumption that if in 2012 61% of edible grains went to animal farms, then right now it might be maybe 70%, because I think it doesn't matter whether it's 70% or 68 or 65, because already 61 is majority. 61 is already more than 50%. So what are we talking about? Do you think that my assumption, my approximate number, changed anything in whole narrative? No, it doesn't matter, because even if nothing has changed, 61 is already a lot. Let me tell you about my source, and let me show you. My data comes from Agricultural Market Agency, which is as official body as CIA or any other state agency. This agency, where my data comes from, was gathering all the data from Polish agricultural market, and based on those data, Polish government was negotiating with European Union all the subsidies and the money that Polish farmers received. Thanks to those data, Polish farmers so far had received 55 billion euro. And what happened next? This money went to this agency. So Agriculture Market Agency was distributing those 55 billion euro among Polish farmers. But you carnivore YouTuber is claiming that data from Agricultural Market Agency, based on which European Union decided how much money they will give to Poland, is manipulated personally by Earthling Ad. I responded to Guy. I didn't know Earthling Ad spoke English and was working for animal agriculture, because, like I said in the video, those are data from Polish agricultural media and official government statistics. The guy answered, no, it came from Earthling Ad. There is no serious scientific data to dispute Cornell University, some figures, yes, from them. So it doesn't matter what Polish government says. The guys in America, they know the best. I would like to see that Polish data and to compile that. Yes, below the video I will leave the link. Unfortunately, it is in Polish, but I will present those data more widely in the next video. Not only those data, so we will talk a little bit about the structure of Polish agriculture, but also one more thing we will discuss, because this guy claims that 86% of animals' forage is inedible for humans. So I checked what Polish chickens are fed by and what pigs are eating. I checked all the components of the feed, and I found only one questionable component, which is cow milk. Polish chickens are drinking pretty much of cow milk. Each chicken is drinking approximately 100 milliliters of milk per day. So we might dispute whether that is edible for human. And I'm afraid that's the only component of chickens or pigs forage that might be considered as inedible. Alright, let's read further. Okay, so my data came from Earthling ad, of course. Earthling ad might not speak Polish, but that will not stop people trying to further a narrative and translate it into Polish. Get out of the Polish bubble excuse. So like he said before, Polish official data, based on which we have received so many billions euro from European Union, are all fabricated by Earthling ad. Who is Earthling ad in Carnivore's opinion then? Well, think about it. The budget of European Union for upcoming period is above trillion euro. All the governments, all the countries are fighting severely for that. There are so many arguments. There is so much data being considered, upon which they must make some conclusions, decisions. But it all doesn't matter, because Earthling ad has so much power that whenever he appears, he is bringing a piece of paper, and doesn't matter what are true statistics of what country. He shows Poland, this is your data. This is data for Poland. Then Earthling ad says, oh, Angela, I have data for you. Angela is looking. What? We produce just 1 kilo of rice? But Earthling ad says, yes, this is your data from me. So Angela can say, okay. Okay, so maybe Germany will get €1 according to that data. Because nobody in European Union has any idea what's happening in our continent. Nobody has any idea what chickens are eating, what we are producing in European Union. Or maybe people know, but Earthling ad enters the party, he brings his data, and everybody just must take it. So, what is Earthling ad's position then in this case? Because no president of any country has so much power to tell all the other countries of Europe how they should dispose their budget. Only Earthling ad himself can bring his data and manipulate all 1 trillion budget. So he cannot be a president of a single country, even if it's Germany or France. No, there is not that powerful country. I think he must be a king of whole European Union. Just one person can decide what data should look like. Who should get the money? How much? Despite the fact that hundreds of politicians are fiercely fighting for it. I will get back to you in next episode. I will present that data. In the meantime, I'm leaving the link to it in first comment. However, in next episode, I will also present more data because also there has been a discussion how much of total production of wheat, of grains, because we are talking about 61% of grains which go to poultry farm, used to go, because right now, as that data suggests that poultry industry is growing, so probably it's already more, and that data also suggested that human consumption of grains is decreasing. So we will analyze more deeply how much of that matter is edible and how much inedible. I must really check that information, that 86% of forage, animal forage, is inedible. Because, like I said, chickens forage is virtually 100% edible for people. Same with pigs. Cows are obviously different. But isn't it the case that chickens are the most eaten all over the world? That guy, as one of the arguments against my data, was another data from USA. So his argument, very, very clever argument, I'm so impressed, against me, that my data, Polish data, cannot be accurate. Because in USA, they have different structure of agriculture. So it is not possible that 61% or even 70% of Polish grains go to chickens, because in the USA, it's different situation. Does it make sense to you? Don't you think, guys, that maybe USA is slightly different country than Poland? Maybe they have bigger area. I have such impression that maybe people are living mainly in the east and west coast, and there is a lot of area among them. So maybe there are different characteristics of American agriculture structure. There is also another factor which this amazing smart analytic couldn't realize. No chance, Maybe average American income is higher than Polish income, and not only Polish, because Polish is already much above world average. Although we are poor among other European countries, we are still 22nd economy in the world. Although our income per capita is a bit lower, but still we are among those rather rich countries. And for Polish, beef is too expensive. Polish are eating mainly chickens and pork. 80% of our beef we are producing in Poland is going for export. So this amazing analytic didn't take into consideration such a factor, that the fact that American income is higher than average human in the world maybe result in the fact that Americans consume more beef than other people, and maybe therefore their beef production is higher than I don't know, chicken productions, or at least this proportion in USA might be different, might be much different even in Poland. Moreover, if they have so much land, maybe they are breeding more cows. It is even possible that maybe they are breeding more cows, maybe they are exporting beef, which is very possible, very likely, because even I am receiving ads of American beef. But there is also such a possibility that analytic didn't take into consideration that maybe they are importing poultry. I don't know whether it happens, but isn't that possible? Wouldn't such various factors make some changes in the structure of country's agriculture? So argument that it is not possible that Polish grains are mainly going to poultry farms because it doesn't happen so in America doesn't impress me. Whom do you agree with? American, educated, IT analytic, fed with big amount of cholesterol on carnivore diet, or poor Polish animal lover? Like I said, I will get back to you. I have learned last night about all the components of chickens and pigs' feed, forage. I will learn more about cows, sheep, animals of some importance, and we will analyze how much of the food given to animals might be eaten by humans. Thank you very much and see you soon. Bye.